Our next guest today is Jean-Pierre Lattion from the State Secretariat for Economic Affairs in Switzerland. Welcome, Jean-Pierre. In your recent work, you studied preferences utilization of Swiss free trade agreements, and you conducted a survey of Swiss importing firms. Could you explain the reasons behind the study and share with us some of your results?
Yes, sure. Thank you. Switzerland has lots of free trade agreements. We have signed 33 free trade agreements with 43 partners. And our parliament asked us whether these free trade agreements were well used by the industry. Actually, we didn't know that, so we had to conduct an analysis of our data. Data that we have are those of importation, so we took the data from the Customs Administration, the transaction data, and we requested the import data from our free trade partners. Some of them answered and sent us the data, others didn't. So the figures we have from export are less precise than those we have on import. Anyway, we analyzed all this data and found out that 73% of the goods imported from partner countries did profit from the free trade agreement. And on the export, about 80% of the goods were cleared under the free trade agreement with preferential duty. Of course, there are differences of utilization of the free trade agreement according to the countries, to the partner country, and of the goods. So we have published this information on a monitor, we call it. We have the free trade monitor, which has been published on our website. And so for each country, each free trade partner, you have the utilization rate. You have one side with lots of information on the goods exchanged with this particular free trade partner. You have the most exchanged goods, and also you have the goods for which the free trade agreement are less used. Well, this is for the analysis we made, and then of course we asked us the question, but why do companies not use more the free trade agreement? Actually, 800 million Swiss francs in customs duties are paid year after year by our companies. And why do they pay so much money when they could save it? So we made a survey to the importing companies, especially to the sectors where the use of the free trade agreement was lower. And we received interesting answers from them. One company, for example, didn't even know that we had a free trade agreement with Italy. So this is quite exceptional. But the awareness about free trade agreement is a problem. The companies do not have enough information. So this was the first finding. The second is that the companies which do not know enough about the free trade agreement, they work with customs brokers. And the customs brokers often do not want to take risk. So they do the customs clearance at the MFN because if they do the preferential treatment, they take the risk that there is a customs control, that the goods remain stuck at the border, so they don't want this. So if the importer doesn't request to use the free trade agreement, they often clear the goods MFN. This is the first two findings. So meaning that for us, administration, it means that we will have to improve the information to the companies. We made a second finding, which is linked to the territorial principle and to the direct transport rule. Switzerland is a landlocked country, and the logistic today, except for the planes, goes through the EU. And often the goods lose the origin because they are cleared in the EU, or they are transshipped without customs surveillance, so they lose their origin status. So this is a second finding we made, and so we will have to find a solution to cope with this difficulty, maybe to change the territorial principle in our free trade agreement, find other solutions. So that's the result of our work. We started last week a survey on export. So next time I can tell you more about the findings by our exporters. But anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jean-Pierre. That was very interesting, and it was my pleasure to meet you today.